everybody, and welcome to the Two Player Podcast with Matt Likes Games and Ham Solo. Enjoy the show.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Two Player Podcast with myself and my buddy Ham Solo. We got topics. Obviously, it's a busy week for gaming, lots of stuff coming out of Gamescom. But before we get into any of it, we're going to talk about what we've been playing. I feel like we've probably both been playing the same thing. So, Ham, get us started on that. And in fact, it's going to be our first topic, too, because I know what you've been playing.
So I was playing a lot of Splitgate, some Rocket League here and there, Mafia 2. I even turned on Astro's Playroom on my PS5 and played a little bit of that. Definitely been playing NBA, but in NCAA, but like we said, we need to quit even mentioning those. Because they're just sports games and they're just gonna be there forever, you know.
I'll tell you what, we've been playing NBA though. We've been playing NBA.
Yeah, we've definitely been having some fun with that.
Experiencing things.
But I was playing all those other things, and then yesterday Gamescom came out, and full stop, I'm back on the Starfield, and it was one item that got added that changed the entire game, and you're seeing it right now on the screen. It's a goddamn vehicle. Once I got the vehicle, it I don't even care anymore. Like this, I knew this was gonna happen. Once I got the vehicle, it would be just doesn't matter what's going on. I'm playing this, and that's what happened.
Yeah, 100%.
Everything just seemed to all of a sudden make sense in this game after the vehicle came out. It's crazy how that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah. So you've been playing a lot of that. I've been playing a lot of that. In fact, I mean, since the update, I don't know that I played another game. I think I played Dying Light 2 for a little bit while the update was downloading. But outside of that, man, it's just been Starfield. It's been Starfield, and we'll talk about it because they did add a vehicle, which is like the big addition that everybody's been asking for, I mean, probably since the game released, honestly. So the fact that that's there now is fantastic. The fact that it's as good as it is, also, because I was telling him, like,
I was
I love
asking for that shit before the game release. I was like, oh, they got vehicles, and they didn't. I was like,
yeah.
Because I was like, there's no way you're just jumping everywhere, and you were,
yeah, you were. You take a couple amps, and then you run your ass to the next spot.
It just promoted you just to get high and fucking run like crazy.
Yeah, just to take whatever the hell amp is. God knows what that is. What kind of future drug
do
that
a
is.
fucking whip it and just get gone.
Just speed out. But yeah, like I was telling you last night, as much as I love Bethesda, and I do, they're one of my favorite developers of all time. But when they said they were adding a vehicle, I expected it to be janky. Because their games are kind of janky. It's just kind of what it is. And especially the creation engine, I was like, oh boy, okay, it's cool we're getting a vehicle, but is this gonna like actually work properly? And it works very, very good. Like, I don't know about the issues or if you had any issues that on your end with the vehicle,
So what issues
But
have you heard? I'm curious.
so like I haven't heard any issues because I haven't been keeping up online really too much. The only issue I think
Right.
I have with the vehicle is, and it's not even like a big deal. It's like it's very direction oriented. So I'm trying to figure out a way to explain this. Is like wherever I'm looking with my camera, like reverse and forward changes on my left stick. I don't know if you know what I mean by that. I don't know if you've experienced that or maybe you just haven't noticed it, but like if I'm driving forward or if I'm looking forward with my camera, forward is forward on my left stick. If I look that way, if I look to my right, then forward becomes left on my right stick.
Right. No, I know what you mean.
Yes. So like I'm not used to that. I'm used to like the Halo Warthog because it drives a lot like the Warthog in Halo or any like land vehicle from Halo for that matter. But I'm used to like the Warthog where like forward is just forward. You head forward and that's where you go. So I got to get used to it a little bit in that sense. But like I said, I was expecting it to be janky, and it's really not. Like it's pretty easy to get used to. And it's also just like it's way cooler than I thought it would be. Like the fact that I can boost forward, I can just go on a planet with like 0.01 gravity and just boost myself forward and then launch myself into the air and just hang in the air for like a couple minutes at a time if I want to, honestly. Like it's pretty nuts. It's pretty insane. Like I and that's just the whole vehicle aspect of it. But I want you to talk about it because I know you just mentioned it. You've been asking for the vehicle in Starfield for a long time. You finally got it and now you're back on it. So what are your thoughts?
So one thing I want to get set straight for anybody that's listening and like listening to us critique or talk about this vehicle, it's not the fucking Mach 5. Like, calm
Yeah.
down. It's not like it's not fin to like have all these different add-ons to it. But one thing I want to just throw out there to give some sort of hope at all is that to get the vehicle, you must go to the ship. What's it called? The ship technician.
Ambassador or something
The
like that.
ship, yeah, it's the ship technician where you get your ship repaired and whatnot. That's where you purchase a vehicle, and then when you go to purchase a vehicle, you notice it's in like the same kind of tab you would as if you were to buy a ship. So it seems almost as if this may not be the only vehicle that you get into the game. But
Yeah.
with what we have, it's kind of bare bones ish feeling, but it gets the job done. And that's what I've been looking for is just something to get the job done. Like I wish they had this back at launch, and I've said this with plenty of other games, and it's insane how a game will come out and then a year two later it's fucking better than ever, you know.
Mhm.
You know, you can give the blame to this game if you want, but I mean, it's every game that's out there. And like, if you buy a remaster, it's like, I don't know, like what? I mean, it's pretty much the goddamn same thing, except you just paid full price for the game again.
Yeah.
So, so you know what I'm saying? It's just, but in this sense, it's just like, in this sense, it reminds me of like a longer term version of like what Callisto Protocol did, where you like paid $70, right, immediately. And then when it was $30 6 months later, the game was like completely different and better in all aspects. And it kind of did that with this with Halo with not only just the vehicle but also the 60 FPS not only added to the Series X but just as of yesterday added to the Series S,
Yeah.
which I'm sure Matt will talk about briefly here shortly. Um,
Yeah.
but this vehicle in particular is just so much fun. Like my use case is like everything. It opened up the the willingness for me to want to do Outpost, which I've kind of I've always kind of wanted to do it, but the one thing I didn't like was just farming one thing at a time. And then I learned, hey, I could just buy, stuff to be able and then like kind of get myself started and then farm stuff, right? But the problem but another problem is like, where am I going to set up camp? One thing that stunk when I first thought about doing an outpost before, like late last year, I was thinking about doing an outpost when I was like level like 70 something, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking about doing it, but then I decided not to because I was gonna, play through and beat the game over and over and over and over. And doing an outpost at that point is pointless, right? If you're
Yeah.
gonna do that. So I've foregone like I was like, screw that idea. Decided, um when I was around the level 70 though, initially, I'm gonna do an outpost, but then I was going to go look for a place to do an outpost, and it just wasn't like, because if I'm gonna build around the base and whatnot, I kind of want it to look good, or at least I want my initial one to look good, right?
Mhm.
And it was so nice just yesterday, even though I actually figured out where I wanted to start off today. But yesterday I got the opportunity to like shop around, and by that I mean I got into this vehicle and just drove all over in different planets and was like, is this something that I'd want to like have my home base be? Like, because I mean, you can, what is it? You can resource farm from anywhere, pretty much anything, anywhere. But is this where I want to like set up the post and like have, my pictures on the wall and stuff like that I get and stuff like that, trophies and stuff out, show it off, brag about it a little bit on Twitter and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Just the house,
Yeah.
the 2K5 crib where you got all your trophies. You know what I'm saying? Like, but with that, it was so much easier finding it with the vehicle and just having fun looking for it at the same time, and being able to just like kind of realize, I feel like gravity means so much more to me now. And I actually like pay attention when I'm on a planet, like, oh, what's this gravity like here?
Yeah.
Before I used to just like be like, oh, I can jump high. Oh, I can.
Yeah.
But now it's like with this vehicle, since it's so sensitive with the boost and stuff like that in certain areas, like a 1.6 is gonna feel so much different than a 1.2, and then that's gonna feel so much different than a 0.89, which is
Yeah.
gonna feel a lot more different than a 0.6. And then you go to even another, another decimal further, or whatnot, 0.03 or something, like you start to
Yeah.
realize, fuck, like if I drive on this planet, I might not come back down to the surface for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Compared to certain planets where it's like, I'm gonna have to try to like figure out how I'm gonna go straight over there, but like there's this all this rubble and shit in the way.
Yeah.
It's kind of it like unlocked another way of looking at the game.
Yeah. Definitely. Like it opens up just like the main thing it's there for, to make getting from point A to point B faster. Like so many things improve just on getting from point A to point B faster. So many different things improve just off of that. Simply like I like now whenever I land on a place, I'm doing everything there now. I'm doing everything that place has, whether it's like just scanning some rocks or whatever shit, or killing bandits, or going to like a science outpost. Like I'm doing everything that is there now. And I did a lot of that stuff without the vehicle, but dude, it's so much easier with the vehicle. It's so much
With the
easier with the
vehicle, it's
vehicle.
just like it feels like the game is unlocked. It almost
Yes.
feels like I'm using a mod. Like it feels like I'm cheating a
Yeah.
little bit because how long I went without a vehicle and just boosting around and just thinking that this was kind of it.
Yeah. It's
And
it's
now it's
it's
just like,
crazy.
yeah, now it's just like bring on the DLC and now I'm interested in even thinking about like other saves with more mods and stuff like that because it's going to be crazy the vehicles and stuff that they make from some of these mods and stuff like that.
Yeah. And like you said, I think even more than the mods, I think just from Bethesda themselves, like with the screen, like that screen whenever you go buy your vehicle, like you mentioned, it just seems like such a obvious thing that there would be more than one vehicle. And I mean, knowing Bethesda, I would imagine this game gets supported definitely until Elder Scrolls 6, but I would almost bet until Starfield 2, whenever that is, if they ever do it. So like, I mean, there's going to be tons of stuff they add to the game. I would imagine there's going to be more vehicles that they add to the game and everything. But like, this is a really, really good starting point. Um, and you also mentioned it. This update also brings 60 FPS on Xbox Series S, which, by the way, if you want a more in-depth thing, like the overall thing takeaway on that is that it's good. It's good. It's like it is on Series X. It's much the same. It's 60 FPS, 40 FPS, and then the base 30 FPS modes. You can prioritize visuals and you can prioritize frame rates, or performance, as they call it. I honestly would say prioritize visuals, like especially on the Series S, prioritizing performance. FSR doesn't look super nice when it's set to performance on console, so you might as well just prioritize the quality and take a couple extra hits on your FPS. It's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. But I did do, if you want like a more in depth like video on that, I did a video on it. So I just released that earlier today. It's like 20 minutes long. I also had a rant in there, where I don't know. I might, you know what? I might show that here on the stream, because I felt like I was spitting, quite frankly. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I feel like I was spitting pretty hard. So let me bring this up. And in fact, it is a short. I made it a short. I edited the actual rant down. It's like longer than it is in this short. But let me take this off the screen. I'm gonna bring this up here. So here we go. Can I get some volume on this? It's a really annoying discourse, especially when the game launched. That like you're not supposed to like the game. People who haven't played the game will tell you that the game's boring and that you shouldn't like it. That's the kind of person you're dealing with on Twitter. Dude, fuck them. The only reason I have 700 plus hours in the game is because I really, really enjoy it. Like I've seen people say, "Oh, I put 100 hours in a Starfield and it's trash." If you put 100 hours in a Starfield and it's trash, put it this way: you don't like games. You're playing games for the sport of not liking them, and that's unfortunate. You got too much time on your hands, first of all, if that's what you're doing, and second of all, nobody wants to be talking to somebody who's completely negative all the time. It's boring. It's boring and it's predictable. And if you don't like Starfield, that's totally fine also. There's just no need for this whole, hey, I don't like Starfield, so I got to tell somebody who really likes it how much I don't like it so that maybe they don't like it. That is absolutely not necessary. Okay. So that was 59 seconds of probably a 2.5 minute rant of just that. But I felt like I figured that was worth playing, because it's like that I feel like you can apply that to anything, honestly. But because we're talking about Starfield, obviously it's about Starfield. But like, dude, I bring that up kind of just to point out the fact that like, and we're gonna have to talk about it later in the show, so we are gonna talk about it. But the whole like thing with news or like negative news on yesterday, whenever there was all this awesome news about tons of video games and stuff, like games we didn't know about, games we knew about, and everything. We got bigger looks at those games and all that stuff. And it's like, dude, yesterday you wouldn't have known if you got on Twitter, you wouldn't have known anything cool happened. You really wouldn't have. It was just people miserable complaining about the thing we've been talking about for fucking, I don't know, like how long? 5 months, 6 months? We've been talking about this, and it's just people miserable about it. And it's like, okay, I get you guys have opinions and all, but dude, did you not watch the game show? Did you not see anything you like there? Was your only takeaway this one thing that's happening? Because if it is, you maybe like reevaluate a little bit. Maybe, I don't know. That's just me personally. But I guess we do have to mention it at the very least. And also I do kind of just want to talk about Indiana Jones in general. So I guess we can move on to Indiana Jones. They did announce the date for it. We actually have a date, December 9th of this year. So I think if they stick to what it was last year, what was the Game Awards last year? It was like December 8th.
Yeah.
So
It was
yeah,
either December 8th or 9th.
yeah. So I mean, there's your tie-in with the whole Game Awards. I feel like a lot of people were kind of like, well, you're going to miss a huge marketing beat with the Game Awards if you're not there. Well, they're probably going to be there because they're going to drop a trailer, the launch trailer most likely for it, and then it releases later that night. So there you go. That's a huge marketing beat for it. So that's something nobody needs to worry about right there. But I'm excited for that. I don't know if you saw it, but that is getting pretty good not reviews, previews, much like another Xbox game that we'll talk about here in a little bit. But Indiana Jones is seeming to get pretty good hands-on previews. I've seen a few people talk about getting to play it or see it behind closed doors at Gamescom, and they're like really excited. I think even Global was tweeting about it. Let me see if I can find that. But the big news, the thing I was referring to that's got everybody upset, everybody super negative on Twitter, is the fact that it does come to PlayStation 5 in the spring at no specific date as of now, but it comes to PS5 in the spring. And this, like I mentioned, we had a whole awesome show of games, like a pretty great Gamescom. I feel like Gamescom's usually pretty underwhelming, but that was actually like a really good Gamescom. I would give that probably a B plus for just based on the fact that it's Gamescom.
Yeah, I gave it a B.
Yeah, so I thought it was like a really awesome show. And like I said, you wouldn't know that if you went on Twitter yesterday, but it is news that kind of got to mention. And I just want to get before I pass it off to you, I'm gonna give my like honest thoughts on this. I've told Ham this. I've told like all the friends I talk to online this. I just operate under the assumption that whatever Xbox makes at some point, whether it's day one, whether it's 6 months later, whether it's 2 years later, whether it's 5 years later, or 10 years, I don't care. At some point, it will go to PlayStation. I'm just operating under that assumption. And I got to be honest, I don't, maybe it's an issue with me. I just don't care enough to get upset. I just don't. Like the fact that Indiana Jones goes to PS5 doesn't make me not want to play it. It just, like, I don't see the point in dwelling on business decisions that Xbox is making that I can't control. Like, it is what it is. But that's just kind of how I feel about it. I know you kind of hold the same sentiment in that, not my sentiment, but like in that I think we're all kind of just tired of hearing about how pissed off everyone is, even though we've already heard how pissed off everyone is multiple times over at this point. So, like, I guess dumb question, but what are you feeling after the news that it's coming to PS5? because it was rumored for a whole week at this point, and then we finally got it. So, what are you thinking? How are you feeling?
Oh, I don't think it's a dumb question. I mean, I get it, right? It's not a great look, and like, if I'm being honest, as like a selfish Xbox fan that's used to the traditional way of gaming, and I always kind of have been, I
Yeah.
don't love it. I don't like it,
Yes.
but it's like at the same time, what can I do about it? And it's like I can't do really any like I can voice my disconcern, but I feel like my podcast has been doing that for the last few years, and that's the best I can do. That's all I got for you guys. I'm sorry. Like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna spend any money towards it. I'm not gonna take a flight. I'm not gonna write the mayor. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna do all this like excessive bitching of something I can't really do anything about. And at the same time, I'm playing this to enjoy it. And at the end of the day, it's not that I'm being told that I can't play it or I'm not getting it. It's being told that it's being playable for somebody else, which in all actuality, whether I like it or not, like I said, I don't love it. My selfish side doesn't like it.
Yeah.
But like my does this affect me meter doesn't really go up, right?
Yeah.
Like this is like, I don't know. This is like my favorite football team. This is like Nebraska, my Nebraska Cornhuskers, my college football squad, right? This is like them getting the one coach that I didn't like, and you know what? I gotta watch him recruit. And you're like, well, that's not a big deal. Well, yeah, it is because I pay to go to the games.
Sure. Yeah.
So I do put money. I buy gear. I buy Nebraska stuff. I got a Nebraska flag right up here.
Yeah.
I got Nebraska pants on right now. Like, let's keep this 100%. This is a hobby.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can be mad about it, but it's not taking food off of my table or anything like that. So like these people that are super mad and like willing to make, in my opinion, stupid decisions because the company that they call their favorite isn't making decisions to their particular benefit, to me is wild. I mean, that's kind of happened for years. I mean, you get Netflix raises the price. You go to the grocery store, the meat costs a little extra than it did last week. Still buying it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, gas prices. Those are essential things. This isn't essential.
Yeah.
Those are essential things. So like, water bill goes up, electricity goes up, like shit that's more important that's happening that people bitch about less than these fucking games. Is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Like, like there's real situations that I can be more mad about than this. Like, I'm not happy. Like I said, I'm not particularly happy about any of it. But at the end of the day, I'm still subscribed to Game Pass. They're still talking about making new consoles.
Mhm.
My life didn't change. The only thing that changed is I'm a selfish bastard that doesn't want you to play it. That's the
Yeah.
only thing that changed.
Yeah.
like if I'm being honest, that's literally all that's changed. Is like now my boy that's been talking shit, telling me how PlayStation is better, can now tell me that PlayStation has my game or whatever, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's fun in games to talk shit, but it only lasts for a little bit. And then eventually I just don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where I'm at. I still like Xbox, and I'm still running with them because I invested so much goddamn money in. And see, I think it's crazy when people are like at this point. Like I could see it back in like the 360 day or the early Xbox One generation, but like, dude, if you've spent like thousands of dollars on this shit, like why the fuck would you want to go somewhere? And then on top of it, if I did go somewhere, I'd have to pay more for the same experience that I'm not sure if I'm alike.
That's the
Like, come
one
on
thing
now.
that
Like
gets me.
now we're getting irrational.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me too, because like this whole like not gonna name names because I just don't feel like doing it, but like there's people who are like, well, Xbox made the choice easy for me. I'm obviously going with PlayStation. It's like you like it doesn't have Game Pass. Like I guess like if you're like cool with money or whatever, like like it's not an issue for you, then by all means, fucking do whatever you want. But like I know for me, I'm not. Like I don't do whatever the fuck I want with money. Like it's just not like I'm not living like that, quite frankly. So like just to up and switch from PlayStation, not to mention like what Ham said, I got
I
like
was crazy balling. A PS5 would not be my concern.
yes, 100%.
That's what I'd be like 40-90 all the way. You know, I'm getting a computer in every
Yes,
motherfucking room. Like if I'm balling like that, then why not?
yeah.
But like,
If
nah,
money is an
man.
issue, I'm building a fucking supercomputer.
Right. I got a fucking whole room that's just a server.
Yeah, so
Like,
like
shit.
for me, it's like I'm not switching to PlayStation to pay for every single game I would have got on Xbox and Game Pass or on PC and Game Pass. Like I'm not. I just don't have the money to do that. If you do, then by all means go ahead and do it. But at that point, you might as well just. I mean, we've seen Sony's strategy as of the past year and a half. They're moving more towards. You might as well just get a PC if that's really your vibe and everything. But you know, is what it is. But I did have to bring that up just because it is a huge topic that people are very opinionated about, and I would agree with you. I would Mike, you need to shut up, buddy. He's in the chat. He says, Matt, the only thing you can build yourself is a goddamn sandwich. Mike, I built my PC, buddy. Unlike you bought your PC. Store bought. You bought it at Walmart. Great value PC, Mike. That's what you've got. But no, I like this like you said, Ham, this ideally I would like for Xbox to not be doing what they're doing. But at the same time, it does like they're a corporation. It doesn't really matter what I like. It's like they're gonna do what they're gonna do. And honestly, it doesn't really matter what people within that corporation like, as long as the person at the top of that corporation likes it, that's what they're gonna do. So it's like I can't control it. Straight from Sony, like unintended. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. Either way, Indiana Jones looks sick. I can't wait to check that out. Comes out December 9th. So check it out later this year. I'm pretty hyped for that. We also got a little preview, or we didn't get previews, unfortunately, but a lot of people outlets got previews of Avowed. That is seeming pretty positive as well. Let me close these out so we can actually get a little bit of a better connection here. But yeah, I don't know if you saw or not, but there are some quite positive previews. I know Paris Lily was tweeting about Avowed, saying like after playing it, waiting till February 2025 is far too long of a wait.
Paris be
There's
reminding me of Jeff Keighley sometimes. Like I like Paris. Like Paris, all right, man. Like he like he's all right guy. He's a pretty nice dude. Like like I ain't friends with him or whatnot, but I did have him on my show and whatnot. But like he's a pretty cool dude. But that man be saying I played it more than Jeff Keighley. I swear to God.
oh yeah.
I had a chance to play that. Like but Paris a little bit more smooth. I got a chance to
Yeah.
play. I got a chance to be able to play Star Wars, and it was pretty phenomenal. Like everything. Like I hear this man say anything. I mean, I got a chance to play this game, and it was shit. Like I ain't heard him say that once yet. Like I'm waiting.
No, that's true. That's a fair point.
I played this game, and it was kind of ass. Like I think the thing is like if he played a game that was like that, I don't even think he speaks on it.
He wouldn't say anything. He'd just be quiet about that. Welcome, my best friend in the whole world, Hideo Kojima. I'm sorry. Okay. But yeah, Avowed's getting pretty positive reviews, even from IGN, which, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of IGN over here, but every now and then they do have something that I will show on the stream. And they did give a pretty glowing preview for Avowed. So definitely, I mean, it was my most anticipated game this year. It got delayed. It's hard to say it's my most anticipated next year because next year's fucking stacked. Like next year's absolutely insane. Just Doom the Dark Ages and Fable by themselves, let alone whatever happens third party, whatever Sony does. Death Stranding's coming out on PlayStation. There's a lot of shit coming out next year. So next year is going to be a wild year. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool to see. We also got, you know what? We should probably recap Gamescom. You know, kind of like we did recapping the Xbox showcase. We'll just pick a couple games each that we liked from the show. But I want to pass it off to you first. Is there anything? I think I know what you're going to go with first here. Anything that sticks out to you from the showcase opening night live?
Well, outside of Starfield getting the vehicle update, I'd probably say since I've been on it recently a lot, Mafia coming
Oh
out.
wow, okay. I wasn't expecting that.
Mafia like that like that threw me for a little bit of a loop because I just beat the first one for the first time and enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought the story was amazing. The story in number 2 is pretty good. The things that you can do in it are a little bit better than the first one, but I'm not sure if the story is as good. It's not as engaging, I don't feel. But like the story isn't. But but it definitely looks pretty good. I'm interested to see how more of it evolves because I think it's going to be a little longer than I anticipated. And then I still got the third one to play, but yeah, I know we just got done talking about them working on 4 and 5. So to hear that this one's going back to like Sicily or somewhere in Italy or something like that, right? It seems like it seems really interesting, and then on top of that, if they're working on a 5th iteration of it, I'm wondering if it's going to be like an ongoing piece to the current one that they're working on. But I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping it's back in like America or in another country, and it continues, or that it's like a totally different story than the one that they're currently trying to tell. Just because there's so many mafia families and stuff like that, I feel like they could eventually link up with certain families and stuff like that, or reference some within the games. But I don't know. I'd kind of like, just as of right now, them to kind of try to keep some separate from others.
Okay. Yeah, Mafia was a pretty shocking one, especially because like the day before, either the day before or 2 days before, you were talking about like how hyped. I think you were talking about how hyped you would be if we got an announcement for Mafia. Also, the show that we did bullshitting last week on Friday, we were literally talking. We were trying to convince Loke that them working on Mafia 4 and 5 wasn't a bad thing, which was nuts, which was insane. But we were literally talking about last week, and then here we are this week. the final show of Gamescom opening night, the final game of Gamescom opening night live was Mafia. Oh, what was the name of it? I completely forget. It was like, ooh, let's find it.
I
It's
don't
Mafia: The
remember.
Old Country.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't remember the name of it. I just was stoked to see a new Mafia.
yeah. Also, this isn't one of my games that stuck out to me, but shout out Goat Simulator for fucking bamboozling us once again with
Every
another
single
trailer.
time.
Just like, just like a trailer that's making fun of remakes and remasters, and then they're remaster. The most hilarious thing you could possibly ever do is they're remastering Goat Simulator, just the original Goat Simulator. That's it. That's the sentence. They're remastering Goat Simulator, which is just completely insane. But they're doing it, and that's hilarious. But if I have to go and pick something here, I mean, my number one from this show is Dying Light: The Beast, and my God. In fact, let me while we talk about it, I'm gonna bring up a trailer for that here on the screen. But Dying Light: The Beast, what's cool about this is because I got the Ultimate Edition, uh, I get that for free. You don't have to pay for it, and because me and you game share, you don't got to pay for it. You'll get that for free too, and it's its own standalone game. So this thing looks pretty damn sick. Has more weapons in it, and by weapons I mean guns. It has guns in it, unlike the second game. The first game had guns, second one did not, which was kind of a letdown. But this seems to be pretty gun heavy, honestly. Let me throw it up on the screen here while we talk. But did you beat Dying Light 2?
Yep.
You did. What do you think about that?
I thought it was a pretty good game. I thought the story was pretty good,
Pretty good.
but
Okay.
like not like insanely great or anything. But it was a good story. I liked the actors and stuff that they used, and I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's see. I really did enjoy the parkouring and the weapons and whatnot, but I'm happy to see that in the new one that they're coming with, they got the guns being more of a focus than they
Yeah.
previously were, because I felt like they were like not really around.
No, they weren't. There were no guns in Dying Light 2, which was weird because, like I said, the first one had guns, and they were pretty janky in the first one. They were all right though. Uh, but in this trailer, like it looks like fucking everyone has a gun in this trailer, so that's a good thing to see. Uh, yeah, as soon as they like transition to this part where they're doing parkour, I kind of knew it was Dying Light. Have you played Dying Light 2 since I think they said they called it an overhaul of the combat?
No.
Yeah, so they overhaul. Oh my god, there's vehicles in this too. I didn't see that though first time. But yeah, they did an overhaul in the combat. I think it was like 2 years ago, and it's a lot more detailed, violent. We'll call it. It's a lot more violent. But yeah, I'm super hyped for this. If you own the Ultimate Edition, it is free with the Ultimate Edition. They did say they canceled the second DLC, and instead of doing the second DLC, this is what they're doing. It's going to be its own standalone game. So look forward to that. What do you have next? Do you have another game that you are pretty hyped for? I feel like I gotta know this one, unless I'm wrong here.
I'd say Borderlands 4.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought you were gonna say the first time.
Borderlands 4 I'm pretty hyped for. I'm just a little nervous about it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing that the movie just came out,
It sure did.
And 3, the way that it did, it wasn't too spectacular. Like it was good, but it wasn't like the best thing. It wasn't as good as the last one, right? But
Yeah.
then 2 is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I know we have a bum in the chat, but Tiny Tina's Wonderland stunk. Didn't like that game. Thought that game was ass.
Yeah, I wasted 70 on that.
Oh, I feel similar.
uh
Let's see. Yeah. I mean, the trailer was ass. The trailer was as good as Arc Raiders trailer. It's
oh
worthless.
my god, yeah, Arc Raiders. Oof. Yeah. Sorry, continue.
No, I was just saying that was all I was saying. It was a worthless trailer. Like, I didn't like the
Yeah.
trailer for it, so like, I don't really have much of an opinion on it. I'm just
That's
like,
fair.
I'm just happy to see that they're working on a new one.
Yeah. It's Borderlands, so you're excited, which is fair. So for me, the next one up, man, it's you know what, before we do that, I want to talk about Arc Raiders really quick because I saw something on this, and not in a good way. I just want to talk about this real quick. I saw something on this that like blew my mind. So Arc Raiders, when we first saw it, first of all, it looked like a totally different game than what it looked like when we saw it yesterday. Also, I didn't know that this is the studio that made the finals. I did not know that. But it is. It's a studio that made the finals. This says Arc Raiders is a team shooter that's been a long time coming. And finally, we've got a rough sort of release date. Doesn't tell me what the release date is, which is weird because
It
I
doesn't
don't,
sound too promising.
yeah, I don't remember seeing a release date, so I don't know what they're talking about here. Um, and the news that it's no longer, this is the thing that blew my fucking mind. So this game, when it was announced, free to play. It is no longer going to be free to play.
What?
No, they said it's no longer free to play, which is a weird thing to declare after showing the trailer you showed yesterday. Because with that trailer, that didn't give me intrigue or anything. I was just like confused and a little upset. And
I was 100% upset. I was just like, what did I just watch?
so to hear that it was free to play and now you're just like, no, not anymore. I'm looking at that like, dude, what are you thinking of charging for that? Because I don't know. Because like the game they showed originally, I don't
Really,
remember when
man.
that was. But the game they showed originally, I was like, this looks pretty dope. Like it was very obviously co-op. It looked like it was like in a big open area with huge fights going on. It looked awesome. But that thing they showed yesterday, just I like if you just showed me that, I wouldn't even know the game's multiplayer. If you just showed me what they showed yesterday. Maybe it's not anymore. Who knows? I have no idea. But I don't know. I was excited for Arc Raiders, and that just kind of all this news coming out about it just kind of just derailed my excitement a little bit, which stinks. But there's more positive things to talk about from the showcase. And if I have to give my next thing that I'm actually excited for here, I mean, oof, it's tough. Starfield Shattered Space. We're gonna Starfield Shattered Space. Just I think that's obvious. I think we're all kind of excited for it, or at least me and Ham are kind of excited for it. But the fact that we actually got a release date, I think it's the 30th of next month, so not too far off. Um, again, I'm just super hyped for Starfield in general, let alone this expansion, just because of the vehicle and everything. But the fact that we got this vehicle, we're going to be heading into a new expansion, new areas and everything, new story, new characters, and all that stuff. We also get to explore, what House Varun is like for real. Because if you played the game at all, House Varun seems like huge pieces of shit. So I'm really interested to see the characters that they have there in the story. So looking forward to that. Is there anything else that you're excited for from this show? It stands out to you?
Let's see. Like, man, I need a list because there was a few
Mm,
games on there that I was excited for. There was this one game like Unknown or
unknown. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm gonna find it right here because I just saw it. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Where's that? Oh my god, this is a long list. Right here, Unknown 9, Awakening.
yeah, that game looked pretty freaking cool.
Let's throw this up. There we go. So Unknown 9 Awakening. Also, this looks like the chick from fuck, what was that show? Witcher on Netflix. I don't know if you watched that when it came out, or I guess it's still going. But it looks like the chick who played, I can't remember her name. But it seriously looks like her. I think it is her. But yeah, this game looks pretty damn awesome. And we've seen it before, haven't we? I think they showed one trailer before this at a showcase. I can't remember which one, but I know we've seen this before, and I remember being intrigued by it. But yeah. So this was one of your games that you're pretty excited for. What has you excited?
Um, just the way it looks and just like the gameplay in it looks intriguing. It looks
It
like something
does.
up my alley, to be honest. Like there wasn't just one thing. It was just like kind of a wow of a few different things that were really cool to me.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited for this. Did this and it comes out pretty soon too. October 18th.
Yeah, which is crazy soon.
Yeah, like that's not far off. Oh my god, it's squeaking in just a month ahead of uh Assassin's Creed Shadows. So that's another game that is
Yeah, I
coming out
forgot
this year.
about that
Jeez,
game.
man.
I have
Yeah, like
two other games that I was excited for.
let's take a stroll through this. Is it Squid Games Unleashed?
It definitely isn't.
First Berserker. I thought First Berserker looked pretty cool, but it's one of those things. Like I think Black Myth
I'm
Wukong
not
looks
ready
cool.
for that genre yet, bud.
Yeah,
I'm
that's kind of how I feel. Like there's a lot of games like that that I think look cool, but I'm just not dying to play those games
not
right now.
trying to pay full price to not thoroughly enjoy it. Like I'd enjoy the game, but I don't think I'd thoroughly enjoy it.
Yeah. Was
Like
this
I
one of
think I'll
them?
thoroughly
Sparking Zero?
enjoy what Sparking Zeros. Uh, I look at Dragon Ball Z games kind of the same way that you look at 2K games,
That's fair. You'll get
where
them,
I
but yeah.
where I want to get it, and I probably should get that year as well. You know, that kind of thing. But like, it doesn't need to be full price. It
I
doesn't need to be
gotcha.
at launch game.
I
The next
gotcha.
two games I'm talking about are games that I want to get like when they launch, and one of them I don't have to get.
Well, Space Marine too. Dune. Is it Dune?
Dune, yes,
Dune
it
Awakening.
is Dune Awakening. It is indeed. Um, I'm I'm really looking forward to that game. I think it's going to be badass.
It looks
Uh,
really good.
there's just a lot of stuff that you can do in it, and it kind of has me just kind of pumped.
Yeah. I'm vaguely interested in it. As someone who I gotta admit, survival games are not my thing, and this is as far as I'm aware, this is a survival game, right?
Yeah,
Like if if you showed me all the survival games and everything and put them side by side, I think I would probably most likely play this one. Just off of what we've seen so far. I know they've shown a little bit of stuff before. I know you saw some stuff before. Like it looks good. It looks interesting. I mean, visually it looks unreal. It looks amazing. But just what I've seen from the gameplay looks very intriguing. And it's going to be interesting because apparently the world, like the open world, is huge. Apparently,
Right. It is. It
so
looks like it, at least.
yeah, so I'm pretty excited for that, honestly. That's definitely a game I would give a shot.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
copping that game, so
which is nice because then I can definitely give it a shot for sure.
yeah,
Um,
that's a cop for me. It's an easy one.
oh, I want to mention this. This isn't a game, but this is something I thought was really cool, and that's this whole secret level thing. Which is just like it says it right here, a tease for Amazon's new video game themed anthology TV show. So like a bunch of video games, like they're just working with developers to make episodes based on the video games. Like I know Outer Worlds is one of them. Armored Core has one. Kratos was in there, so God of War has one. Um, what else was in there? I know like there's a few other things that were announced or that you could just see in the trailer, but like a bunch of games are going to be part of this whole TV series, which is pretty exciting. I guess each one's going to get its own episode. So I'm looking forward to that, honestly. And I'm not somebody who's like, who sees, hey, a new TV show's coming out. And I'm like, I got to watch that. Whereas with this, I'm like, it looks actually pretty decent. And it's on Amazon Prime, and I have Amazon Prime. So I'll be checking that out. Uh, Delta Force Hawk Ops look pretty cool. It was kind of like that Call of Duty-ish sort of thing, or Battlefield sort of thing, more like. Um, but we've seen that a few times before. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 looks pretty cool. Launches the February 11th. I'm trying to see what else. Man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it was a good show, honestly. You said you give it a B. I'm probably around the same thing, B plus. Considering the fact that it was Gamescom, and I'm usually pretty underwhelmed by Gamescom. I came away pretty satisfied this time, which was nice. But yeah, I mean, I think that was everything from Gamescom, honestly. Let me see if there's any more topics here before we get up out of here. No, man. I actually think that was it. Talked about Indiana Jones, talked about Starfield. We covered Starfield for sure. Uh talked about Gamescom. We talked a little bit about Avowed. Uh but yeah. Oh yes, I guess I should mention because this is news. I don't know how much we have to say about it, but Stalker 2 is confirmed to support 60 FPS on console. In fact, I think it was John Linneman on Twitter said that they played
Yeah,
it
he
on
said he got a chance
console.
to play it. He said he's
Yeah.
impressed.
He got a chance to play it. He said it looks better than you probably would even expect it to look on console, which was really cool to hear because I expect that game to look pretty damn insane considering everything we've seen from it. It looks like a really good looking game. I'm surprised though that they're getting that to run at 60 on console. And apparently it's the only mode. Like there's only one mode and it's 60, which is really cool. I mean, I guess it's cool to have options, but honestly, for me personally, if I'm being selfish, I'd much prefer games to only have one mode and it would be 60. Just do that, honestly. Just me personally. But that's pretty cool news. I'm excited for that. That comes out what, November 20th, I think. So looking forward to that. But yeah, I think that's all the news we got for today. I mean, I'm sure there will be more news that comes out tomorrow and Friday, and we'll talk about it on Friday's show for sure. But yeah, let's get up out of here. But before we do, Ham, outros, what are you up to? What's going on this week? Anything over on the channel that they need to know about?
Um, let's see. So tomorrow I'm supposed to be doing a stream for college football. I might have to make that either earlier or later, depending on what time Infinite Umbra show is. I'm supposed to be guesting on to that show. So that's another piece of news. But other than that,
Mm-hmm.
you guys can catch us on Friday for bullsitting on TSWS Gaming.
Nice. Link in the description to his channel. Check it out. Like he said, Bullsitting Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'll be over there on the channel as well for that. But as for myself, videos every Monday and Friday here on the channel. Had a video today because, Starfield update and everything. I'll have a video out Friday though. So look forward to that. And then also Mondays, I have the L3R3 podcast with myself, Hard Days Mike, and It's Me Twan. And then on Wednesdays, today, I have the show with Ham Solo. And that is the 2-player podcast. You're watching it right now. But we're going to get up out of here. Thank you all for watching. And we will see you next week. Peace.